Whatever. We're just gonna start animating or automating workers too. Um, he was always described as but yeah, he was later adopted into the Cao family by a eunuch from that family. Um, he was always considered very resourceful and full of guile. And when he was part of the Jiaohu family, they weren't particularly, or one of his uncles was not particularly fond of that. So he'd regularly tell his father, the boy's father, Cao Cao's father, I mean, that he was being an asshole and generally just being a depraved maniac. Um, and to his credit, Cao Cao's father at the time got on him about it. He jumped his ass. Uh, but Cao Cao eventually determined a way around that by basically making his uncle look like a madman. He faked this weird seizure fit in front of his uncle, and then when his uncle went and got his dad, he pretended he was totally fine. As you do. But he ends up graduating at age 20, joining the military, and by the time the Yellow Turban Rebellion has started, he is already considered a general. Um, over the course of his years, he ends up looking for and talking with a wise man about his lot in life, as you do when it's ancient times, because you don't fucking know. Um, why? Why? Build the fucking road. Whatever. Um, just go there. That's fine. But yeah, as you do. Um, and he talks to this guy, and he tells him that he's usually a very good citizen as long as the empire is in check. However, during times of chaos, he becomes a crafty hero, and he's known pretty much for the rest of his life as a hero of chaos because of this. By the wise man Zhu Shao. Um, when he's put into positions of governance, which was pretty common for generals and stuff like that to start out somewhere in a system of in the governing system. He was known for pretty much not taking any shit, to the point where he beat the ever living shit out of an important government official in one of his towns, just because that guy was being a fuck, and he deserved it. Um, so he's known for being very loyal, very very all about what he's doing at the time, or what he's in charge of um, at the time. So he joins our story around this point, but that's it for this chapter. He doesn't feature in the rest of the chapter. It actually fades off of him. He fades to black basically, and goes back to Liu Bei's party, and and Liu Bei's party is doing pretty good for themselves. Oh, they've got a good time of it, doing well in their campaigns. Oh my god, so many fucking boats. And they find out that one of the guys they were working for a little while is captured and is being taken into court for crimes that he may or may not have committed. I totally screwed up there, didn't I? Where the fuck is embarking? I didn't think it took. I didn't think you have to get compasses to get embarking. Yeah. The fuck? Whatever. We're gonna send a bowman over there to grab that. Um, we get back to Liu Bei's group. Their benefactor at the time, basically, is picked up and called into court for his crimes, I guess, if you want to call them that. And they see him on the way. They find out what's going on. And they decide we're not. Zhang Fei actually wants to just break this guy out and call it even. But he decides that maybe that's not the best course of action, because of course it's not going against the government of the area. and decides that he's just going to go ahead and where they're just going to move on and do what they need to do and what they came to do and help out the Empire. So they go on to where that guy initially was. And his post has been taken over by the men who basically drove him to his situation. Deng Zhao. Deng Zhao isn't really described a whole lot in this chapter. He's just kind of here, being an asshole. Like, that's not even a joke. He actually, upon meeting Liu Bei's party, is under siege. Well, I wouldn't say under siege. Engaged in combat with a stronger foe who is kicking his ass. And Liu Bei's party and their retinue managed to turn the tide of the fight and save his ass. And initially, he's incredibly grateful. But when he finds out that they don't actually have any ranking, that they're just some guys with an army, he basically starts blowing them off and deciding that they're not worth his time. Which, it inevitably comes back to bite him in the ass over time. But, that's... Oh my god! Fuck! But yeah, it inevitably comes back to bite him in the ass after a while. And that's his story for right now. And that's chapter 1. Whole lot going on. That was a Cliff Notes version, obviously. I don't really have... I'm not going to just read... Well, actually, no. I'm not going to just read you guys the entirety of that book, but you guys should totally... Or the chapter. But you should totally do it if you get a chance. Grab yourself the book. It's really cheap on Amazon. For Kindle, obviously. And since everything that Google does has access to Kindle at this point, shouldn't be too hard to get access to that. We'll go into chapter 2 tomorrow, assuming that I get enough time to do the research, to do the stuff I need to get that taken care of. If I don't have time to write down notes and prepare, I'll go ahead and just probably do Magicka 2. I just got that as part of the Humble Bundle lately, and Magicka is one of my favorite video game series. It's just so fucking lovingly goofy. But yeah, I'll probably end up doing that. I actually have a Sunday RPG that I'm still part of that will be going on Sunday, and will be going incredibly long because we're doing a double session with 2 groups of people's stuff. That's not what I want. I think we should take that one, actually, because it gives us a canal of sorts. Okay. But yeah, if I don't get my notes done in time, since it's going to be a long RPG session, then we'll go ahead and do Magicka 2. Otherwise, same bat time, same bat place. Chapter 2 will start tomorrow. It's been so long since I've read the beginning of Chapter 2. It's... A lot of the beginning of this is basically Liu Bei just setting examples as he goes around, helping people out, meeting it. He spends a lot of the first third of the book, I want to say, like the first act, meeting the people who are going to be a big deal later on in his life, meeting the people who he'll have to come to fight later on, especially Cao Cao. That's an entire thing in and of itself, which is admittedly pretty cool, but we'll get there when we get there. Oh man. But yeah, so that's chapter 1. For anybody who ends up listening to this later, because I don't think I got anybody during the broadcast, thanks for taken the time to watch one of my older ones. Um, I might do this as a replay later on, and just save it and go back and delete some of my older ones that are a little bit more eclectic and all over the place. I can change production on a lot of these buildings, can I? Yeah. And I guess for the next hour, 45 minutes, however long I feel like playing, we're just going to sit here and enjoy ourselves a really bad game of Civ 5. My throat. What a bad time. Surprised we don't have anybody popping out to tell us about that. I like that. That's goofy. Maybe I'll log off early tonight. My throat's killing me, and I'm just tired. Probably worth talking to. I don't think I've gotten any texts. No, not really. But, yeah, we might just call it for tonight. Gonna take me a little bit of time to get my voice back the way I want it and be able to talk for extended periods of time. So, we'll go to Beijing real quick. Nope, okay. Sink that motherfucker. The lack of food in that area is becoming an issue. Start building wealth, that's fine. I don't know what they're doing. Horsemen, okay. I kind of figured that asshole would do that, but whatever. We'll just have him go back to Hangzhou. So we're gonna go ahead and save this and get back to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, worst case scenario, if this game goes too far south because it's just been a week since I've touched it, I'll just start another one. We're gonna end up doing that a lot over the course of this program, I guess. This session, this series. That's the word I was looking for. God damn. We're gonna do that a lot over this series, just because it's gonna be long. It's gonna be so long, and I guarantee you we'll get through more than a little bit of this more than a few games of Civ 5. I might just do a marathon game for it. But thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.